Okay, so let's go to the next question. What are control structures? Write a simple C++ program to demonstrate for loops. Okay, so first let us see what are the different control structures. The different control structures in C++ is switch, like you want to select one of them based on the switch value. So the switch case statements, you have switch, you have if else, while, do while and for. Now let me explain to you this. Okay. So let us see from let's begin with the if and else statement. So if you look at this one, if x is equal to 0, then you are going to print out. So x value has to be, this is a relational operator for checking whether the value is the value is same or whether the values are matching, basically. So you are checking the condition. So if x is equal to 100, so in case if the value of x is equal to 100, then it's going to print x is equal to 100. But it's a good practice to use brackets like this, because this is as industry practice. It's compulsory to use a bracket. But the compiler supports you if it will not give you error in case if you have only one statement and you have not put a bracket. Now in case if you also want to know, in case if this condition is not true, then you want to check something else or you want to give something else. You can see here the example. If x is equal to 100, you want to see out x is equal to 100. Else you tell x is not 100. So you can use the else operator in that place. So you can also have like if, else, and again you can check another if. So else if, and you can go on basically like that. So if x is greater than 0, then you tell x is positive number. Else if x is less than 0, then you tell x is a negative number. Else you tell x is a 0. So if it's 0, then only it's going to come to this condition. So this is about the if statements. And as we have seen, you have something like while. I can show you all this with some examples here. Now I will execute this example and show you. This is you can just see here. This is integer n, and you are telling enter the starting number, so you can give some number. And while n is greater than 0, so you are going on decrementing in the while loop. You are going on decrementing, and you are outputting the number. So you can just see if you enter 8, it is becoming 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's printing 5. Something like this. Okay, so based on whatever number you have given, it is actually going to print. This is going to be the output for that. So I hope you have understood this clearly. So if you can also make this do while, where you are checking the condition on initially. You can also check the condition at the end. That is, you can check the condition like do and while. The difference between while and do while is, in while the condition is first tested. So if the condition fails, then it may not enter the loop at all. So in case if n is greater than 0, okay, then it is going to enter the loop. But if at all if n is already less than 0, then it may not enter the loop. But in do while loop, whatever the condition, it will enter the loop at least once. So I think we have that condition here. Now see here, this is a program we have, and here you can see do while loop. So enter the number 0. Now here if you check here in this program, you are entering the value before entering the while loop. You are accepting the value. But here in this case, though you are not having any n value, you're still entering the loop. You're accepting the value of n and you're starting the loop. So you're accepting the value of n, then you start, and so you can enter the loop if n is not equal to 0. So as long as you don't give 0, it will keep on asking the value. So enter the number 0 to n, and you can keep on giving number and it will keep on entering the number you entered, and it's going to go on printing as long as you have not entered 0. So once you've entered 0, okay, it enters and it checks here while n is not equal to 0. So the moment you enter 0, it will come out of the loop. So this is a do while loop. The next one is a for loop. In the for loop, what you have first, in a for loop you have first is an initialization, wherein you tell I is equal to 0 or j is equal to 0 or I is equal to 10, whatever number, you initialize the value. The next one is you have a condition. So I is equal to 0 and I is less than 10. So as long as I is less than 10, it's going to go on here. And then you want to increment, so you tell I plus plus. So with every iteration, with every loop, it will increase the value of I. So you just see here, this is the program. So you tell n is equal to 0 and n is greater than 0. That is a condition. As long as n is greater than 0, it has to go on in the loop. So this is a loop. It will go on. This is only statement that is that. So you tell it starts with 10 and it will go on decrementing with every iteration n value by 1. And here you are checking. So the n is greater than 0. So if n value is greater than 0, then it continues in the loop. These are the for loop. So the first one is a declaration, and after that you have a semicolon. Then you have a condition. Then you have again a semicolon. Then you have a increase or decrease, whatever you want to increase or decrease the value. So you can just see here 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is what has printed. Now you can also have something like break, continue, and go to statements. So what is a break? If you have a loop and whatever the condition you want, whenever a break executes, it just comes out of the loop. So even if your condition is not true, so you have a loop here wherein n is equal to 10 and n is greater than 0, n minus minus, and it will go on. If this condition was not there, then what would have happened is it would have executed. I will execute this and show you. It will go on executing this till the value becomes 3. Now if this condition was not there, it would have actually printed till n is greater than 0. So it would have printed till n 0 and then come out of the loop. But now we have, if n is equal to 3, then we are told we have written a statement called break. So this is a print countdown aborted, and you just break. So countdown aborted, you can see here also, and it is break. Break means it will just come out of the loop. Now sometimes you don't want to come out of the loop. You don't want to execute the other part of the code. Okay, so you can just see here. This is a different another program which is with the continue operator. So in continue operator, what you are doing, your if I is equal to n is equal to 10, and if n is greater than 0, n minus minus, and if n is equal to 5, continue. So only if n is equal to 5, continue. So you don't want to execute this C out if the n is equal to 5. So it will execute continue, and it will, the moment it encounters continue, it will go and execute, it will skip the remaining part of the loop, and it will again start from the top of the loop. So you can just see here 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 is there, 5 is not there, 4, 3, 2, 1 is there. Okay, so this is how the continue operator works. The go to operator will actually jump from the program to the label. So you can see here, this is the go to operator is used here. So you have something like n is equal to 0, C out n, and you go on minus a. So if n is greater than 0, you go back to this loop. So what we are exactly doing is the same thing. We are actually doing something like what this for loop was doing. You are checking here, if n is greater than 0, then you go back here, and again you go back as long as it's 0. So this is, you can jump from anywhere to anywhere in the program using goto, but it's not a good practice to use goto in program. But you can always use it in the exceptional case you want to use it. You have a circumstance like that, then you can definitely use it. The exit program aborts the program. So exit is a function defined in cstdlib library. The purpose of exit is to terminate the current program with a specific exit code. So this is an exit. The next one is a switch. The switch is like, the syntax for the switch statement is a bit peculiar. Its objective is to check several possible constant values for an expression. Sometimes similar to what we did at the beginning of this session, and with concatenation of several if and else if. So it is actually doing like several if else if kind of a work. So here that we have, there is an example over here. So how it is working: if x is equal to 1, then execute this. Else if x is equal to 2, then execute this. Else if x is 0. So it switches similar here. So switch, then you, whatever the x value is, if x is 1, it is going to execute this, but after that you have a break, so it doesn't execute the case 2. If you don't have a break, it may continue executing the next one also. Then if the x value is 2, then it will not execute this one, it will directly come to the case 2 and execute this one. And if none of the values are true, then it will execute this one. So that's in the control loop. Control statements. The next one is how objects are passed as parameter to the member function of a class. Discuss with example. So here in the next program, how objects are passed as parameters. I'll give you one beautiful first illustration, like how exactly it happens. You have a class and you have a member function inside. So if you have a member function, then you have a function name. You specify the class and the variable names. Again, you can specify the class and the variable names. So whenever you are making a class, now here in the main function you have three variables, o1, o2, o3, and you tell o1 dot function name is equal to o2 plus o2 comma o3. So you are sending the value of o2 and o3 to the o1. So the o1 will get the value, will receive the object o2 in the form of agr1, and it will receive the object of o3 in the form of arg2. So I'll show you with an example, and then it will become more clearer. So here is an example. I'll just make one integer variable, okay, and it will set the value of a, and you can sum and you can print. So what is done in the main program? This is a class. So this is a member function, integer, and data members, and this is member function. Set is the name. This is a member function, set. This is another member function, sum. In this one, as this is a class demo, so you can see here the demo is sent as a variable or argument to this particular function. So two class or two objects are sent as argument to this particular sum function. So then the obj1 becomes the first object, and object1 dot a, you are actually again referring to the object1's a value, then you are referring to the object2's a value, and you are summing to the object 3, which is whichever the object has called this. So object 3's a value. So let us see this and we will come to know more clearer. Demo, you tell d1, d2 and d3. These are three objects that are declared, and you tell d1 dot set, and we are giving 10 and 20 as value, and then from d3 dot sum is equal to d1 and d2. Then we are printing the value of d1, d2 and d3. So here every time what it does is it just prints the value of d1, d2 and d3, whichever print function we are calling. So it will print that particular value. Let us run this and check. So build and execute. So you can just see we have not assigned any value to the third object. What we have assigned, we have assigned 10 value to the first object, 20 value to the second object, and the third object actually adds the value of the first object and the second object and assigns it to itself. So we are printing the value of third objects and it is 30. So I hope you might have understood this clearly. Thank you, viewers. If you have enjoyed learning, then please like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you.